This video deals with beginning your composition with a drone. So we haven't got a GarageBand file yet, so I've gone to New Project in GarageBand and I'm just going to choose piano. That doesn't mean that you actually have to use a piano. Give it a name. I'm going to call it Green 1. And don't worry about this tempo and key signature because we're not going to worry about that. We're going to be working in fairly free time. Now, because we're working in fairly free time, it's probably a good idea as well to turn off this metronome here. It's just asking me a question about the mic. There we go. Just turn off the metronome there so that's not blue anymore. And then we're going to need to find a good instrument to use for our drone. So to do that, I'm going to first bring up the on-screen keyboard. If you've got a little keyboard like this on your screen by default, you can just press this button here and that turns it into the large musical typing on-screen keyboard. Otherwise you can go to the window menu at the top and choose musical typing. And you've used this in class before, I'm sure. If you press these keys here on your keyboard, A, S, D, F, G, so on and so forth, they play the note. You can play two notes at once. So if you want to do a two-note drone, like we heard in the Sinking of the Rainbow Warrior, that was D and E flat. Now, of course, piano's not really a very good instrument for a drone because it's not a sustained sound. So we want to find a sustained sound, and we're actually going to go, or I'm going to go to synth pads over here on the instrument list. If the instrument list isn't showing for you, then just make sure that you click on this little I button, presuming that you've got the latest version of GarageBand, and that brings it up. You, of course, are welcome to choose any instrument you like for your drone. I'm going to choose the synth pads just because we have got synth instruments in the piece that we've been listening to. So I want to use some synth instruments in my piece as well. So I've got a huge big long list of synth pads here. You'll find that I've got more instruments than you've got available. Firstly, because I've downloaded the free ones. If any of yours have the little grey arrow here, that means you need to download them. You should be able to do that at school or at home. They're free, gets you an extra whole swag of instruments. But I've also purchased extra instruments for GarageBand, so don't worry about the fact that you won't have as many as me, even if you download the free ones. And now I can click on some of these. And after choosing a synth, I can try it out. So I'm just going to press this button here on the keyboard to hear each one. Now, drones don't have to be low, but typically if you're going to do stuff over the top of them, it's good if they are low. So I'm actually going to change this down to an octave lower and listen to that sound again. Yeah, that's a pretty cool sound, but you'll want to try out a few of them. Let's just listen to a couple more. Certainly foreboding. Think about the audio sample that you've downloaded and exactly what you're trying to do with your drone. Are you trying to make it sound mysterious and worrisome, or are you trying to make it sound sort of pretty and exciting? Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is just choose this elevation one because I've heard this one before. It sounds pretty amazing. Have a listen to this. I like that a lot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click this red record button here. And remember, I've turned the metronome off because I don't need to have any sort of click on this. It's going to be fairly free time. I'm just going to hold that for about a minute to give me plenty of drone to do other things over. So I'll just fade this video out as it's recording, but that's all you need to do. Now, and just remember, if you want to have two pitches, you can do that, or you can have a drone that changes from time to time. But if it changes regularly, then it's not really a drone, it's more of a bass line or something, which is fine as well if you want to try that. But here's my drone recording.